prostate.
Hi, everybody.
Just fine, thank you.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Did you hear that comment?
Welcome. Oh,
It is
I
not.
know.
You're the only
it's
one
not
talking about it,
benign or
Nick.
hyper or whatever they call that. Hyperplasia.
Benign hypertrophy, I believe it is.
Or is it plasia?
God, I'm tired already.
Whatever. No problems yet.
Hypertrophy.
So,
Oh,
good.
Hi, everybody.
IP freely.
Happy
That's my name.
Thursday. Thursday seems to be our day lately. Just got church commitments on Friday. Wednesday's usually PTA
was it
day.
Easter again? Wow.
Hi,
Every year.
Hi, Hell Boxes. Hello. Yay. I think my clock's a little slow. I think it's a little
And
bit slow.
I'm singing in a funeral tomorrow morning, and we're singing a contemporary piece that I've never heard of before, and so I had to work out the harmonies for it.
Do you like it? Is it a nice piece
Yeah,
to
it's
sing?
I can't get it out of my head now because
Oh.
I've listened to it so many times and sung it so many
Got an
times.
earworm?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to a funeral tomorrow, but I won't be singing very much, not unless they have some hymns. But
I like singing hymns. I went to a girls' school where we sang a hymn every morning, so I know a lot of hymns. It's one of those things when you're young and you sing them.
was
they
it a
stick in your
school
brain.
song?
No, we had a
Hello.
school song too. That was different.
Hello.
40 years on when a far and a
Why is that such a
sunder
small
part.
signal?
There's UH Blackhawk too. Yay!
Mr. Boxer, Captain Boxes.
I know. I know.
Captain.
That's weird.
Yellow. You see this comment by Mr. Van Ram?
Oh, yeah. I can't get it out of my head. Is it me? Try turning the volume up, old chap.
Greg Peterson, hello. We all sound good to each other.
All of us,
Chuck.
Chuck, or just me?
You don't sound. You both sound fine.
Hi, Greg.
We need some other
Yes,
people
we-
to.
We need some confirmation. Where's Mike Kuipers? He's usually good at telling us how we're sounding.
He's
He's
there.
there. Yeah, he's there.
Tim says levels are good for him.
Okay.
Which ear, Tim? Which ear are you using
So
today?
we're making it to the West Coast, okay?
Chuck, look for the thing that says VOL and like a knob, and then like turn it
And
clockwise.
Greg Peterson says it's good for him, and
Okay.
I'm assuming he's at home. So in the middle
Everything
of the country.
off, all normal. Very funny.
Chuck, I think you're the one that's the problem. Maybe I'm going with deaf. You had your ears cleaned out lately from wax and stuff?
Nick's not coming. He got dragged into something super cool,
Oh, well, at least it's something super
but
cool.
super late.
What?
That's the trouble with working.
I know. Except you guys never got dragged into something unexpected. You were always scheduled, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
So
Captain-
we
Captain-
are going to start with this group that you're seeing right now on
The
camera.
oldies. The oldies but goodies.
Yeah, and then at some point we'll be joined by Alpha Juliet, and then hopefully after that, Dr. Steph. But maybe not. We're not
Yeah,
sure.
Dr. Steph got pulled into something too, so. Is that you, Martin? Jep Guy 72?
Ah.
See, Steph would see that and go, "Oh, Jeep guy."
Hi, Bill.
I thought Martin was younger than that.
72. No,
Yeah.
I mean maybe 1972.
Oh.
And there's Bill.
You
I
were
think that's,
born
I think
in
that's
the
Bill Salton in
70s? Oh,
YYZ, I think.
I don't know.
Very sad.
Hi, Bill. Are you ready for winter to be over? I am.
YYZ.
That's got to be Martin, because it's his little profile pic there is a guy on a cyclist.
Oh, okay.
Remember
I
that?
can't.
He
It's
told us
so
he was a
small on
cyclist.
mammal.
it's so small on my screen, I can't see it. So
Yeah. Thank you, Mike Kuipers, for confirming we're okay.
yes, thank you, Mike. More than ready. No kidding, Bill. What a winter.
Is YYZ Vancouver?
No, Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Vancouver is
Shame on you,
YVR.
Captain Nick, for
is
not knowing
Vancouver.
that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I only went there about, 50
And,
to 100
But we
times.
were
or something.
producers
Montreal is
from there.
YUL. I know most of them.
That's true. But she doesn't live at the airport, does she?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't live even near the airport, but I live on a flight path that's where they turn final
qualifies.
if the wind's coming from the west. Recorders off.
Recorder's off. That's a good idea. Let's do that.
Yeah. Let's
Wow,
just,
why do we
let's
want to turn them off? Because nobody wants to hear us? Is that it?
Probably.
Is that what you're saying? I have
Well, you
both of
still
them
have to
on, but I
hear
can
us
turn
if
them
you're in the
off.
chat room. It's just the rest of the world wouldn't hear it because Jeff wouldn't have anything to edit.
Ooh,
Very
wouldn't that
true.
be nice?
The Rush song, YYZ to us, to we Canadians, but
All right.
I'm ready when you are, sir.
Same here.
All right. Let me
Sooner the better.
get the. Yep. I understand, sir. Let me get the
Countdown.
Evernote intro note up, and then I look for the media asset. I go to the video clip of the countdown, and then I click it. And then this is where
There's supposed to be some music.
push the
isn't there?
button on my Stream Deck and then Radio Roger starts doing his intro. Okay.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Why did we do that?
I guess that didn't
All right.
happen.
Let's try that again then.
Okay,
All right.
I'm ready. Yeah.
And I'm going to go, and I'm just going to say 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to press it. So
All right.
that's when you press your button.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG, it's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 697.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy show, the view from our side of the cockpit door, with your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from APG headquarters in Roswell, Georgia. Today's show was recorded the week of February 23rd, 2026.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. Get your light and he's flying by. With the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, the NTSB assigns blame in its final report on that helicopter plane collision near Reagan National Airport. And a burning lithium-ion battery injures an airline passenger. Also ahead, more news and your feedback. So get all settled in. Tray tables and seat backs in the upright and locked positions. Electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger, and Flight 697 is ready for pushback.
Thank you, Radio Roger. He is an award-winning TV and radio reporter, currently at the #1 all-news station in the nation, 1010 Wins, on 92.3 FM in
New York City!
Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's an aviation podcast covering the latest in aviation news and answering your great feedback. I'm Captain Jeff, former U.S. Air Force pilot and retired Delta Airlines captain. And joining me from his Garden View studio,
in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
retired professional dog photographer, former RAF fighter pilot, retired Airbus A330, A340 captain for Virgin Atlantic Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Hey there, Jeff. It's the old folk here again. It's terrible, isn't it? APG 697. Well, that was a number that doesn't really feature very much in aviation, not that I could find. So I looked through my logbook for the 697th hour that I flew with the Royal Air Force. And I found it was a really boring sortie with Tony Bown in the back seat flying random intercepts. So I thought, well, I won't tell you about that. I'll tell you about a trip, the 4 trips after. I got launched off QRA, for 6 hours and 15 minutes and intercepted 4 Soviet, Russian, horrible, nasty bears out over the Icelandic, Faroes Iceland Gap. So 4 bear foxtrots I got that day. Ha ha, ha ha ha,
ha ha. Nice.
Yes.
I guess we should play the applause, right?
Yes.
Yay.
Oh, well,
good job.
Wasn't very hard.
Right.
Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to shoot me down. There you go. That was a mistake.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be here with us today. They shot you down.
No, me shooting things down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wasn't allowed to.
Somebody was mentioning that my mustache looks
particularly white, Tanya.
particularly
It's very
white.
snowy today. Yes, it does.
I don't know.
We're getting a few highlights off it.
Did you wash it?
Oh, yeah.
Bleached
I wash
it.
it like
He
once a month,
bleached it. Yeah.
whether it needs it or not.
This was the
You ought
day.
to try smoking a few cigarettes. That would give it a nice tint.
No. Thank you for suggesting it. Okay. Liz is doing something. She's either telling us to move on or she's telling us that we're crazy. Or both. I don't know.
Both, actually.
Yeah. All right. So let's
Move on because you're crazy.
Yeah. From her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our producer, Liz Piper.
Hi, everybody. Not talking about the weather again.
Hooray!
Yay!
Why not?
Hooray.
Okay. It's
Have a
probably
good
still
show,
cold.
you guys.
Yeah.
Cheers, Liz.
Thanks. All right.
Stand by for news.
All righty. The first item in our news segment today is a near mid-air collision near Teterboro in New Jersey. Let's see. And we got this from the New York Times, a clip source. Let's see. Averted mid-air collision shows importance of Air Safety Act. Backers say. I don't know who Backers is, but Backers says. Let's see. The legislation's advocates say a close call between 2 private planes near Teterboro on February 13, which is about 2 weeks ago or so, just underscored how collision prevention technology could save lives. And we have let's see, I'll read a little bit more here and then I'll play the video. A recent close call between 2 private planes flying near New York City has heightened concerns about collision avoidance technology, just as federal lawmakers voted down a major aviation safety bill. Well, why did they do that?
Yeah, what's that about?
They're against safety?
Yeah, how weird is that?
Okay. On the 13th of Feb, a Learjet corporate aircraft carrying 8 people was headed for Teterboro in New Jersey when its traffic alert system warned its crew to descend immediately to avoid an accident. The plane descended, narrowly avoiding a mid-air collision with a smaller plane. We saw the aircraft cross from left to right across the nose of our aircraft, said Derek Long, who was piloting the Learjet in an interview with New York Times. That's really the closest you can come in an airplane without having an incident, he said, when reached by phone Monday evening.
So is he saying it wasn't an incident? Because they seem to be making a lot of it if it wasn't an
then
incident.
why are we even talking about this if it's not even an incident?
All right, okay.
I don't know. Let's just
Almost
move on
an
to the
incident.
next
I've
one.
had a lot of those.
I've had a near incident. I'd like to have an incident, but I've only had near incidents. Are we still talking about aviation? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Okay. Let's see. Why don't we do this, Liz? Why don't you plop that thing up there and play this video and see what we get? I don't even think I've listened to this yet, so we're going to listen together. This is from VAS Aviation, Real Aviation Communications. Important. Oh, okay. This is a supplementary video to the incident. So he re-edited it, I think, and re-uploaded
702, turn left heading 090.
Okay, November 9.
702, descend and maintain 3000. Whiskey Victor Uniform 91, descend and maintain 3000. November 4 single Victor, turn left heading 060. Falcon 4 single Victor, turn left heading 060.
Newark approach control, I guess, that we're listening to.
Yeah.
Falcon
He's
914
working hard.
single Victor, Newark.
Listen up.
Limit 21 Echo Quebec, Newark approach, Newark altimeter 3014.
014, level 2,500, Twin Echo, Quebec.
And Country Road 91, traffic 11 o'clock and 2 miles southbound at 3000 indicated aircraft safe on off.
Look for the traffic, Country Road 91.
Country Road.
Jet 593, cleared to tower.
Flight at 593 towers on 19.5.
15.5, Flight Jet 593, good day.
If everybody's checking in, if anybody is checking in, just stand by. I know you're there. You're tying up my frequency. In Falcon 914 Tango Victor, Newark.
Uniform is to send TCAS RA.
And I think that was Country Road 91, Roger. Maintain 3000 when able and advised.
We're clear of the traffic now. That was not cool. We're climbing back 3000.
Country Road 91, I gave you the traffic call. I kept getting stepped on. I just made a broadcast on my frequency for anybody checking in to just stand by. In November 702, turn right. Right turn heading 270.
Right, 270, 706.
Again, for Falcon 914 Tango Victor, Newark approach.
Hello?
I've been calling you, sir. I've been trying to reach out to you. November 914 Tango Victor. If you can't hear me, just change to my frequency on 2377.
We couldn't hear you before, that's what we were going to say. So we could not hear you. What's that? Must be 2377?
Yes, sir, 2377.
377.
And Country Road 91, turn right heading 150.
You're heading 150, and make sure you pull the tapes on that. We'll be giving you a call when we land.
Pull the tapes!
No problem, Country Road 91. I'll have a phone number here shortly.
Okay.
I
That's
don't
the
think they
end
use
of
tapes
this.
anymore.
I don't think so either. All right. He called out the traffic to the Learjet. I guess both airplanes were at 3,000 feet, which is not good. And I guess maybe the Learjet pilot's a little pissed because, or upset, because he didn't get any kind of an avoidance vector or something. I mean, I can kind of understand that. Although,
What kind of service was he receiving?
right, I don't know. You know, we're not air traffic controllers. Maybe an air traffic controller out there can school us on this, but I know that giving the traffic alert is the primary thing, right? And
Yep.
avoidance vectors. I'm not sure what the responsibility is there or the obligation or whatever, but in this case, I'm sure that the Learjet saw the other traffic. Well, I'm thinking that they saw the other traffic on at least their TCAS display or ADS, whatever kind of traffic display that they have. And I might have said, could you give me a vector, please? You know, give me a vector to avoid the traffic or whatever. But maybe they just assumed that the controller had things under control. I don't know.
Yeah, very busy frequency. So I think having a conversation with him would have been quite hard because he was trying to call that traffic. He tried 2 or 3 times, and every time he was stepped on by another station calling or checking in. So, I mean, he was pretty much on constant transmit, which is pretty common for that area when it's busy, having been in there many times. And Teterboro, you know, if he's dealing with the Newark traffic and the Teterboro traffic, that's a lot of airplanes. So, you know, that's pretty much, it sounded like he was at saturation. So I don't know what else he could have done. I mean, obviously, if two aircraft are going to come that close, he needs to forget about everybody else just for a moment and give some avoidance maneuvers. Either climb, descend, or is pretty good, but a turn might have helped. Yeah, not guys, but this is the wonderful thing about TCAS. It works and it saves lives, and we think it's fantastic. Can't wait for it to become even more sophisticated in the future, because there are obviously some limitations, particularly at low level, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it looks like we have some people in our live audience that want to volunteer to become air traffic controllers. Neil says, we're not air traffic controllers, but how hard can it really be? The ship's very short. Yeah, so obviously nothing to it. I-haul boxes, break, plus a vector, plus immediately. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, very busy facility. Yeah, that's I've been in a similar situation before where the traffic is called out to me going into Birmingham, I think, and it's like I'm looking and I'm going, well, it looks to me like if we keep going this way and they keep going that way, that we're going to be a problem. And then I had to say, could you please give me a vector to avoid that traffic? And then they did. Again, I don't know what the rules are, what the legality is for all of that, but AJ might know, but he's not here. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll just have to hang that out there as a question mark, and maybe we can get some feedback from our audience, and including maybe some real air traffic controllers out there that may want to chime in on this, because I think we could all learn something. All right, let's continue on with this next item, which is the final report. Yay! This is from the Aviation Herald, reporting on the final report issued by the National Transportation Safety Board on the crash of the PSA CRJ 700 and the military helicopter, the Black Hawk helicopter, in Washington, D.C. at Washington National Airport. And let's see, I'm going to scroll down, and we're just going to, we were talking about this before recording the show today, and we were noting how nice the formatting is on the NTSB's report, which is not normally as nice as it is. And we're going to have all this in the show notes as a link. But honestly, the final report just basically confirmed everything that we had been discussing before today's show. And let's see. So let me read the synopsis. The Federal Aviation Administration's placement. Okay, the probable causes of the accident were the FAA's placement of a helicopter route in close proximity to a runway approach path, their failure to regularly review and evaluate helicopter routes and available data, and their failure to act on recommendations to mitigate the risk of a mid-air collision near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, DCA, as well as the air traffic system's over-reliance on visual separation in order to promote efficient traffic flow without consideration for the limitations of the see and avoid concept. Also causal was the lack of effective pilot-applied visual separation by the helicopter crew, which resulted in a mid-air collision. Additional causal factors, the tower team's loss of situational awareness and degraded performance due to the high workload of the combined helicopter and local control positions, and the absence of a risk assessment process to identify and mitigate real-time operational risk factors, which resulted in misprioritization of duties. Wow, I'm not sure what. I haven't been drinking, really. I swear. Misprioritization of duties. That might be the problem.
Have a beer.
I'll probably speak better. Yeah. I wish there was one here. Of duties, inadequate traffic advisories, and the lack of safety alerts to both flight crews. Also causal was the Army's failure to ensure pilots were aware of the effects of error tolerances on barometric altimeters in their helicopters, which resulted in the crew flying above the maximum published helicopter route altitude. And then they go on to list several contributing factors as well. So, yeah, and we played that little excerpt from the Q&A that the NTSB presented a few weeks ago with the chairman. Asked the question about Hamidi, Jennifer Hamidi, and how upset she and how emotional her response was, and how upset she was, and rightly so. And she kind of basically, said what we just said in their final report there, that that just shouldn't have happened, and processes that should have been in place and were in place were just not analyzed and utilized most effectively, etc. So, all right, what do you think, Captain Nick? I need to stop talking because UH Blackhawk says there were thousands of near misses on this route over the years. Yeah. Honestly,
it happens so often that it become run of the mill, and that's the problem. If you don't do about it the first few times it happens, then it sort of becomes, that's, we're used to that. That happens all the time.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, yeah. Look, Alpha Julia's there. You can join us anytime you'd like, sir. You can just chime in whenever you'd like.
How about now?
Hi there, AJ.
Perfect.
Hello, Nicholas.
Yeah. In a moment, after we wrap this news item up, we may go back and address the first one that we had regarding the near miss up in Teterboro, because we have a question that you may or may not know the answer to, but you'd have a better shot.
I can make it up if I don't.
Well, that's true. That's what we
It's a
pretty
good
much do
idea.
here. Half the time, right? 50% guarantee. The NTSB, this is Chuck in our live audience, the NTSB was unable to find any record of a review of the helicopter route as was required annually. Yeah, that was just one of many things that were kind of botched in this whole thing.
Yeah, the controllers themselves were reporting problems and getting no reaction to those. So everyone was sort of putting it in the too difficult bin, and sort of saying, well, we've had this route for years and we've never had a problem. It's the usual sort of excuse until someone dies. In this case, lots of people die, and then all of a sudden, we found a solution to this. It's happened in aviation so many times. I was going to say that they do mention, of course, that it would have been great if the helicopter had been broadcasting ADS-B out or had TCAS on board, that sort of thing. But let's just remember, although they could have done that if they had the equipment on this flight, because it was only a training flight, on most of their operational flights, they're going to be flying, it's a military airplane flying with VIPs on board. They're not going to want to broadcast their position. That would be a security breach that would leave them open to anything. So they would have to. It's another reason why you shouldn't really mix this traffic up. If you're going to be not letting everyone know where you are and you taking advantage of modern collision avoidance systems, you need to make sure your routes don't have any conflicts where this might occur.
Well, I think that we have to make the point that there was a traffic alert issued like just seconds before the impact. But because of the way the TCAS system is designed, that below a certain altitude, you don't get I guess there wasn't a traffic alert. It was a nonverbal alert that they never got an oral alert, as far as I recall. Is that true? I mean, can anybody back me up there? I think that
I remember traffic was called to each of them, and there was
from the controller, but I'm talking about
the controller asked them to maintain visual separation on traffic which they had identified. So Whether they had identified the correct traffic, I don't think the report really highlights that.
Yeah, okay. I'll try to find it, but I thought that was something that happened. Like it happened so in close proximity or time wise of the actual impact that it really wouldn't have any significant effect on the avoidance. I have to pause for a moment here. For some reason, my Ethernet, hardwired internet, is not showing up.
Oh, so we're not pausing for station identification?
We are pausing for station identification. We'll be back in 30 seconds. I'm just trying to figure out why are we not seeing this?
Well, while we're having a break, I need to ask all boxes, is a UH-60 not considered a military craft? You guys don't
It's
like the
included
black
a
hole?
mill, not a military. I mean, a military, not a mill.
Oh, what did I say?
You must have said a mill.
I run the mill. Yeah, probably. Yes. Ha 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 ha.
Why is this not working?
I don't know. Have you plugged in the other end?
I know.
That particular type of cord does require both ends to be plugged in.
Yes.
As well as the power supply.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet it'll show up now.
What are we going to do if we just see some bright flashes from one corner of Jeff's room?
Yeah.
God.
We could dial 911.
Do you know the number?
Anyway, what's the number for 911? Staff.
Don't ask Nick. He'll give you the wrong one.
Yeah. It's not 911. It's 999.
999. 999.
Indeed.
That's not good because
No,
you call
no.
up and they're saying no to you.
Takes on a whole new meaning if
German.
Captain Stefan was here.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I am getting the actual internet from the Ethernet cable. Yay!
Hasn't made the slightest difference to us, Jeff, but you carry on.
Well, I know, but it will. Guaranteed.
Okay, good.
As we get a little bit further into it, all of a sudden everything would have been just bleh. Now, I don't know. This is not really going to affect my ability to speak at all, but at least it will help the internet. Okay. All right. Yeah, so now that Alpha Juliet, welcome, sir, to the show.
Hello again.
Understand the traffic in Atlanta is not very pleasant today.
Well, when you get a reasonable amount of rain, everyone decides to go 50% of their normal speed or less, and still manage to crash into each other everywhere. It doesn't make sense to me. So
what are you going to do with them? So we were talking about this near midair between what was the airplane that they were having trouble talking to? What type of airplane was it?
A little airplane and a smaller airplane.
Okay. We had the Learjet.
According to the screenshot or the what do we call it, the opening thing for the YouTube video, it's an SR-22 Cirrus.
Oh, there you go. That's an SR-20. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. So the SR-22, the Cirrus.
Almost.
God. Wow. The Cirrus SR-22 was at 3,000 feet and coming in at a kind of a 90-degree divergent course. A convergent course.
Yes.
With a Learjet. If it were a divergent course, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Well,
and
it was a converging course turning into a diverging course.
Yeah. So the Learjet ended up having to respond to a resolution advisory from his TCAS, a Descend RA, because the controller was having trouble contacting the Cirrus SR-22. But he did call out the traffic to the Learjet. And my question is this. The controller never issued an avoidance vector. And I think that maybe the Learjet pilot was waiting for that situation to be resolved by the air traffic controller via a divergent vector, I was saying that, well, I may have asked for one if I hadn't received one from them. But what are the? Do you know if what the obligations are or the legality is for the controller in this kind of a situation?
I don't know as far as approach what their for the Traycon what their rules would be in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
If they say they have each other in sight, that's somewhat takes that kind of checks a box. Well, I haven't had a chance to watch this video yet, so I need to do a little bit of research on this exact situation.
Yeah. So this is obviously a Class B, Class Bravo airspace, right?
Well,
so,
they could be in it or they could be below it. Looks like I said, I haven't seen the video, but if they're both at 3,000 feet, there's a chance that they could be below that Class B airspace and in Class Echo, actually.
Okay. Yeah, so we don't have enough information then to really figure out whether this was something that was required by the controller or not. Oh, well. Okay.
I'll do some research and we'll circle back
thanks.
next episode.
Oh, we'd appreciate that. Okay. Thank you. Producer Liz has texted me with the information regarding the second news item, the DCA mid-air collision. The crew of Flight 5342, the PSA, received an automated traffic advisory from the airplane's Traffic Alert and Collision Avoidance System, TCAS system, stating traffic. Yeah, I thought so. At this time, the aircraft were about 0.95 nautical miles apart. And then 17 seconds before impact, a radio transmission from the tower was audible on both cockpit voice recorders, directing PAT 25 to pass behind the CRJ. So yeah, there was a traffic call out, a traffic call out by the TCAS system, Captain Nick, in that particular accident. So, but when you're in that situation, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, getting close to the landing runway, and you're in a final turn, and you have your belly up, essentially, to the traffic that is going to be impacting you. There are a lot of things going against you in this situation. And the fact that you mentioned, Captain Nick, very clearly and a very well-made point, is the fact that we're kind of used to getting these call-outs and being near military helicopter traffic in that area, especially if you're one of the regional airlines that are quite often asked to break off your approach to runway 1 and head over to the runway 33 to kind of help with the traffic situation. Now, I was going to say my anecdotal experience flying into DCA, which I did a bunch of in the 90s and the early 2000s, is that I guess because of the type of airplane I was flying, we would come in if they're landing to the north, we would come in on the visual or the ILS approach to runway 1, and we would hardly ever be asked to break it off and circle to land to the other runway. But routinely, the regional jets were asked to do that. I guess they're it's better suited for that type of aircraft. Anyway, so. Okay, now switching, we keep bebopping back and forth between news item 1 and news item 2. So try to stay with us, people. iHaul Boxes says, seems to me that as long as one of the pilots didn't acknowledge and maintain visual separation instruction, that the responsibility remains with the controller. Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, to some extent, but I mean, we have a basic rule of see and avoid in visual conditions, right? So.
Yeah.
And depends on the level of services that each airplane was receiving. If the Bonanza wasn't on flight following or anything, they may or may not be listening.
You mean the Cirrus?
I'm sorry, the Cirrus.
Okay.
What did I say? Bonanza?
Are you serious? Yeah. I'm so confused.
Don't call me Shirley.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that we don't know. So we're gonna have to.
I am confident
we're gonna have to
that
wait
we
for
don't
somebody
know.
that's really, really, really smart and knowledgeable about this kind of thing, and then we'll definitely. Oh yeah, well I should have a disclaimer. No. So let's continue then on with anything else to say before we move on to item 3 in the news?
We flogged that horse.
Yeah, we did. That poor horse is definitely dead. A federal watchdog faults the FAA oversight of United Airlines maintenance practices. This is a Reuters article. The FAA's oversight of United Airlines maintenance practices is hindered by low staffing, ineffective workforce training, and hurdles to accessing air carrier data, a federal watchdog said on Friday. You know, English really is my first language. It'd be hard to really
American English or
detect
California
it.
English? Different.
Yeah. The U.S. Transportation's Department of... Gosh darn it. Somebody else take over.
Well, actually, we're enjoying it, Jeff. We're not taking it.
This is great.
Okay, the U.S. Transportation Department Office. Is that right? Is it Department of Transportation? Yeah.
Well, it's the U.S.
Inspector
Transportation
General.
Department, Office of the Inspector General. There's a V missing there, I think.
The U.S. Transportation Department Office of Inspector General. Oh, okay. The USTDOIG.
I think if you've got a title like that, it ought to be able to fit on your door.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's a
really,
little
really
long,
tiny
that one.
writing. You
Well, he's got double doors in his office.
double
Fair
doors.
enough.
Anyway, that person or that office announced an audit of the FAA's supervision of United in early 2024, and after the FAA boosted oversight of the airline following a series of safety incidents. Okay. The OIG, that's so much easier, said Friday the FAA's oversight is insufficient to oversee safety risks, and the agency has at times conducted inspections virtually rather than postponing them due to a lack of inspectors. So basically, this is the FAA getting slapped. I mean, the FAA should have been slapping United, but now the OIG is slapping the FAA for shoddy work. Chuck has a question in our live audience. Did Jeff get some of those gummies donated after our recent trip? No, but I wanted because when we do things on the show, we want to present the data as best we can and accurately as possible. So because I had to figure out exactly what that cabin crew was experiencing in that van going between the airport and the hotel with the gummies, the THC gummies. And I it's my pledge
It's the only way to
the
find
audience to experience this and give you some accurate
We appreciate your dedication, Jeff.
Yeah, I know you do.
Okay. Wish you'd share some of that dedication, but
Yeah, well, I still have some left over. Just kidding. I don't have any. I've never had one.
You ate them all.
I haven't had two. I've never had any. Okay. I don't want to talk about that one anymore. Yeah, thank you. Now, this is really...
Can I just make the point that, danger minefield, yes, it is. They only had 4 inspectors for a fleet of 521 Boeing 737s. And that doesn't seem quite enough in my mind. Yeah.
Well, how many do you need?
Well, I don't know. They had, how many for their 757? Yeah, they had... 3 for their 767 fleet, which is only 53 airplanes. So,
but it's a bigger airplane.
Well, it's not that much bigger.
I'm trying to help, okay?
Yeah. So I don't think they had their inspectors quite sorted.
No.
Somber. Oh, okay, right. Fair enough.
Okay. Let's go on to this one, which
I'm sure I could make some jokes about this.
Somber
next
and sad, and please don't. This is what is this from? I don't see. Oh, okay. Facebook on Facebook originally that we saw, and then we have another news source, antaranews.com, I think. All right, well, I'm going to start with the one from Facebook, the one at the top here. Let's see, 2 airline pilots executed after escaping gun attack at a remote airstrip in Indonesia. A routine domestic flight in eastern Indonesia turned deadly on February 11th, 2026. So just a few weeks ago, when a Smart Air Cessna 208B Grand Caravan, registration Papa Kilo Sierra November Romeo, was attacked moments after landing at Korowai Batu Airstrip in South Papua's Boven de Goel Regency. I don't know. I'm gonna give myself a ding. There we go. The aircraft had arrived from Tanah Merah at about 11:05 a.m. local time when armed gunmen opened fire near the runway, forcing passengers and crew to flee the aircraft in panic. According to Indonesian authorities, both pilots initially escaped into nearby forested terrain along with the passengers as shots rang out around the airstrip. All 13 passengers, including an infant, managed to hide and later survived the attack unharmed. The two pilots, however, were separated from the group, and then these two, Captain Egan Erwan and First Officer Baskaro, were pursued by the attackers, captured, and forcibly brought back to the airstrip where they were shot dead. Their bodies were later recovered near the runway. Indonesia's Papua Regional Police and the Damai Kartens Task Force, a joint military and police security operation, were deployed to secure the area and evacuate the survivors. Authorities say the perpetrators have not yet been arrested, though the attack is believed to be linked to armed separatist groups active in Papua, a region that has seen repeated violence targeting security forces and infrastructure. So, hey, when you're thinking about how bad things are in your country, at your airport, think about how bad they really could be. I mean, talking about like dangerous. I mean, flying's dangerous in that region, but you know, armed separatists seeking you out and executing you on the tarmac, that's horrible.
Scary.
Absolutely scary. And I haven't heard of them specifically targeting airline pilots, figures of authority, but you know, there's no saying what these people will do, and you know, I would have thought that they would have been safe. I thought the passengers would have been the ones that would have been in more danger than the flight crew, but I don't know, you don't wonder what goes through these people's minds.
No. Yeah, I don't get it.
No.
All right. Oh, yeah. Our Wichita correspondent, Nick Camacho, sent this to us. This is from KAKE.com. I wonder if they call it cake there, because I don't know. It's making me hungry just looking at that. An Alaska Airlines flight from Wichita headed to Seattle had to make an emergency landing on Sunday afternoon after a passenger's cell phone battery pack caused a small fire in the cabin. Leanna Stickler is one of 76 passengers aboard Flight 2117. She says a woman was using a lithium-ion battery-powered charger pack to charge her phone when it caught fire. I was right next to her, and it was just sitting in her lap, not being played with, not being touched, and it exploded, said Stickler. And I'll have to note that this lady is a stickler for the details. She says the flame was about a foot tall and burned the woman's arms and legs before she tossed it into the aisle. Somebody threw a towel on it, and I hit it with my shoe, she said. Video captured shows the flight attendants rushing in to the shoe? Rushing into the shoe. And towel-covered
The shoe and towel-covered burn spot.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I have to keep going.
Yeah.
Don't stop, Jeff. Don't give up. So I'm going to reread that. Video captured by Melissa Harris Herrero shows flight attendants rushing into the shoe and towel-covered burn spot to stop a still soldering. Should it be smoldering fire? Yeah, that's a misspelling.
Well, maybe they were soldering on the battery pack.
Maybe there was a soldering fire. I don't know. Why would they be doing that?
It seems like a terrible idea, but
it seems inappropriate to me.
Especially on an airplane.
I know. Like, hey, quit soldering. What are you doing? You're going to catch everybody on fire.
See
I'm
soldering
sorry,
irons and the prohibited items.
Do you guys have a silent L in the word soldering?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
You're the only people that do. Yeah, it's interesting. Why on earth would she bash it with her shoe? I mean, don't we all know that
That's what you do with
damage?
fire.
That the thing, a damaged lithium-ion battery, because you bash it with a shoe, is likely to burn even fiercer.
Nick, if it makes
I
you
don't
feel
think
any
she's
better,
had training on extinguishing battery charger fires.
Sorry, yeah.
Nick, if it makes you feel any better, the high likelihood is that it was one of two kinds of shoes anyway. It was either a very furry slipper, or it was one of those plastic flip flops from the dollar store. So
right, okay.
it was certain
The latter,
gonna make
I'm
the problem
Yeah,
better with
of
shoes.
course.
It makes you feel better anyway. It may you may not be helping, but it makes you feel like you're doing something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, indeed.
All right. So hey, so they had just taken off from Wichita and they just came back and landed safely, and I guess there was a lot of smoke. Oh, that's right. That's why I want to talk about this. Especially.
Yes,
So
I knew you wanted to mention
Tracy
this.
says the flight had been only in the air for 15 minutes at the time. Terror. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to crash. And I hate flying as it is, said Soom. The flight attendants came running back with a fire extinguisher and put it out. The smoke was so bad I couldn't breathe. Let's see. In the video, flight attendants could be heard telling people to cover their faces, which is a good idea, or put their faces in their shirts. Okay, that's a good idea. Soom says this is because the oxygen masks only came down after the fire was fully out. Let me reread that.
Yes.
The oxygen masks only came down after the fire was fully out. I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute. Everything in my training said if there's a fire, the oxygen masks are...
How else are you going to keep the flip-flop and the towel burning?
Because the oxygen masks are there because of pressurization and to increase the partial pressure of oxygen going into your lungs so you stay conscious. It has nothing to do with smoke. So
no.
I'd like to know if that's really true. Well, I think I did see a picture and I could see that the oxygen masks were deployed. I'm just wondering who deployed the oxygen masks? How did that happen?
Well, because there wasn't a depressurization, I'm pretty sure that the flight deck must have done it. That's usually the only way you can get the oxygen mask to come down, is to reach up and press the emergency oxygen button. And yes, I'm with you, Jeff. We would never deploy oxygen masks in the case of a smoke that. Particularly if you know there's been a fire, because despite the fact you might say, oh, it's out and everything's fine, if you introduce a hugely oxygen rich environment around something that might catch fire again, and because these things do have a tendency to, leap into fire again, it's going to be 10 times as bad as it was before. So whilst I have sympathy with the passengers who were having trouble breathing in the fumes, because the fire extinguishers are very irritating for your lungs, so they're a real irritant. And of course, the smoke of the fire would be an irritant as well, so it's going to be uncomfortable breathing that. It will soon dissipate if you get the air conditioning running at max chat. But if you put oxygen in there as well, you have a real potential hazard.
Yeah, an airline pilot in YYZ, Toronto, says, whoops.
Well said, sir. Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well made.
And of course, there's another thing you have to bear in mind when you press that button is you're not going anywhere except on the ground below 10,000 feet, because once you've deployed those oxygen masks, you cannot go anywhere. You cannot climb back up because of the danger of having a decompression. And now you don't have any oxygen to give to your passengers if you do depressurize. So you are really stuck below 10,000 feet and in a diversion situation. I realize they're coming back anyway, which they did, which is fine. But still, I would not have pressed that button.
And UH Blackhawk says oxygen masks won't help as they take it outside there.
You're going to get
I think
a
what he's
nasty
saying
one.
is
Yeah,
it
they're
mixes with the
they're an
ambient
air mix situation. It's
Yeah,
only
so you're still going to have the smoke in there. You're going to have a little oxygen, pure oxygen in there as well. And then iHall Boxes says lithium-ion batteries produce their own oxygen anyways. Yeah, so the only thing I can think of, I tried to find out more details about this incident, and I couldn't find anything. I thought that maybe we'd see this on Aviation Herald, but I couldn't find it. Is that maybe, I know they did reach up to like 20,000 feet or so, somewhere between 15 and 20,000 feet. Is it possible they also had some kind of a depressurization kind of event, and that's why the oxygen mask came down? I don't know.
don't know. Perhaps
I guess
they
that's possible.
open the ram air. I don't know how this to try and get some airflow through. I mean, we would do that once we got below 10. We would open the ram air and get some decent airflow going through the cabin to try and clear the smoke as quickly as possible. We might even open a window at the front end because that's the last ditch. Clear the air of smoke and fumes is to open a window in the cockpit and get that blasting through. But that's pretty dire because it's pretty difficult flying an airplane with the window open. It's not like you can stick your head out and see where you're going.
Yeah. Dave Ellison in our live audience says, I thought the oxygen only flowed after the mask was pulled down. And I think you're right about that. Is there really much extra O2 in the entire cabin? Well, probably not a heck of a lot.
There's certainly not less.
Yeah.
No.
It's just not something that you do. It's if they purposely ejected or whatever the proper deployed the masks from the cockpit. That to me, that just is really kind of counterintuitive.
If you view it in the opposite context, they deployed the fire extinguishers when the cabin depressurized. Wrong tool for the job.
Yeah, that wouldn't have made any sense either. Anyway, so thought that was interesting. Hopefully, we can find out more exactly, what happened there.
I thought Stickler's final comment was very useful for those who are flying. You always hear about like airplane mode and be careful with batteries, yada, yada. That's exactly right. Be careful with your batteries, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm. The yada, yada is the most important part.
Poignant. Poignant.
Yada, yada. Yeah, talking about risky flying, especially if you're flying on a 737 MAX 8 in Colombia. Yeah, it's got to be why, Liz. An American Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 has been pulled from service following the discovery of bullet holes on the aircraft's wing assembly. The damage was identified during a routine post-flight inspection at Miami International Airport on February 23, 2026, after the jet completed a regional circuit between Florida and Colombia. The aircraft involved registered as November 342 Bravo Hotel for bullet holes. Just kidding. It's a Sierra X-ray. I made that up. Had operated flight 923 from Miami to Medellin's Jose Maria Cordova International Airport. Yep. It's not easy for me to say, on February 22nd. It remained on the ground in Colombia overnight before performing the return leg 924, which touched down in Miami at approximately 10:24 a.m. the following morning. It was only after the passengers had deplaned in Miami that maintenance crews noticed puncture marks on the right aileron, a critical flight control surface responsible for the aircraft's roll and lateral balance. While the origin of the gunfire remains under investigation, the incident has raised immediate security concerns regarding the ground environment in Medellin or potential low-altitude activity during the flight's arrival or departure phases. Despite the structural damage, the flight cruised at flight level 360 during the 3-hour journey over the Caribbean, and the aircraft landed safely. Let's see. Following the discovery, American Airlines technicians at Miami performed temporary structural patching to stabilize the wing surface. Under the cover of darkness on the night of February 23rd, the plane was ferried on a non-commercial flight to the... Under the cover of darkness? Why did they say that? On the night of February 23rd, the plane was ferried on a non-commercial flight to the airline's primary maintenance hub at Dallas-Fort Worth.
Makes it harder to hit.
And you can't see the sun coming through the bullet holes.
It's very true.
Nobody will notice under the under the cover of darkness.
So
secret.
Bit of speed tape on the holes, and away you
Who
go.
wrote this thing? Airlive.net. That's just an interesting way to put that, I think. Okay. Looks like, yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Yes, true. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, watch your language, Liz. Watch the swearing. She says to do F and K. So let's do this one here next from Aviation Herald. And there's a video too. So let me get the video queued up. I think I already do. Okay. LATAM Brazil Boeing 777-300 registration Papa Tango Mike Uniform Hotel performing flight 8146 from Sao Paulo, Guarulhos, Brazil to Lisbon, Portugal, was accelerating for takeoff on runway 9 left when the crew attempted rotation. And the nose gear slightly lifted off the runway, and then the takeoff was rejected about 174 knots over the ground. That's pretty fast. The aircraft slowed safely, vacated the runway at the very end, and stopped on a parallel taxiway. Emergency services responded. The passengers disembarked via stairs onto the taxiway. And they said that that happened on the 15th, and on the 20th, Brazil's CENIPA reported during the takeoff run the aircraft showed an above limit temperature in the right-hand engine, a GE90, and the crew rejected takeoff. Okay, so again, what that means to me is that this happened, the rejected takeoff happened after V rotate.
I'm wondering what V1 is in a 777. If you 174 knots is ripping.
Well, so
yep,
I think that
I'm pretty
Captain
sure
Nick
it was above.
and I would agree that I don't think I've ever seen a V rotate speed before V1. Have you? Because it was always V1 rotate.
Yes, correct. I've never had a V1 after rotate. I've had V1s before rotate.
Yeah,
but
that's
never after, because
appear.
you're trying to get airborne and you don't try and reject at that point ever.
The other question is, how long is this runway? If they're able to get to
point.
174 knots
very
and
long.
stop safely, that's
I
a
don't
big
know. It must
runway.
be a very long runway. I don't know the answer to that. I'm sure somebody somebody in our live audience staff might be able to tell us. But while they're looking that up, let's watch a video, shall we? And see what this looked like. This is the latter stage of the, thank you for the sound effects, the latter stages of the takeoff roll. And I'm going to go ahead and hit this button here. And here we go. It's the camera's going to shift to the right a little bit. Okay, now watch the, it's going to rotate. Right there, then back down. And then
8121, cruze, pista na zero esquerda, do outro lado, salão 269.
Exactly. That's what I would have said.
Confirme, portão 8121.
Yeah. So.
846, portão decolagem na 10 esquerda.
Okay. So
Então,
they stopped.
8146, libere na Quebec, chame o salão 269.
Okay. Quebec 269, pô.
Então, 8121, cruze
Why
na
is this
zero
not
esquerda, do outro lado.
stopping? Here we go. Maybe I had to the other key. Dave Ellison in our live audience says Google says 777 V1 is 130 to 160. But I guess my point is not necessarily what the V1 speed was, is the fact that where it was in relation to the rotation speed.
Yeah. So
anyway.
we're pretty sure they rejected above V1,
which
is very naughty, because, and if it's an overtemp, we had a series of overtemps, particularly at high hot airports in my aircraft when I was flying, and the company got very worried because there were some pilots who were a little bit inexperienced, and they were worried that someone on one of these high hot airports was going to try and stop above V1 for an over temperature. Now, an over temperature is not usually a major problem. You just sit on it and let the engine burn a bit hot, unless it's going absolutely mad and the engine is likely to disintegrate. An over temperature is just, it's a margin above its maximum operating temperature. It doesn't mean the engine's going to necessarily fail or anything's even going to be wrong with it at the end of it. It might shorten the engine's life a little bit, but that's years ahead. So
that's the next captain's problem.
Exactly. So the advice was sit on your hands, complete the takeoff, and when you're safely airborne, at the normal height at which you'd start actioning emergencies, which was for us was 400 feet, you just retard the overtemping throttle until the temperature drops back within the correct range. Boom, job done. Then you can climb away, and then afterwards you can have to think about what caused the overtemp. Is it still likely to overtemp? Can you return the engine? Chat to the engineers, get a data dump on what happened to the engine. Discuss whether it's okay to continue home with it, or would you like us to leave it idle, or what do you want us to do with it? But you don't reject your takeoff above V1 for that. If it's just a simple overtemp, I'm assuming that this information here is correct. They might have had something more serious, but
it's captain has emergency authority, yada yada yada. But as you say, it must be something very, very serious for you to, after the decision speed V1, to try to abort the situation. In iHall boxes and our live audiences, by definition and regulation, V1 must be less than or equal to VR.
Well done, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I just thought it was kind of odd to see that.
Yeah, and the reason they stopped, because normally you'd say, well, above V1, you're not going to be able to stop for the end of the runway. Well, V1 doesn't take into account, or your rejection doesn't take into account use of reverse thrust. So when you do a rejection, the aircraft should stop at V1 with brakes only. And if you get the reverses in, that's a bonus. So that will shorten your stopping distance, which might be why they managed to get away with this, as it were. They managed to stop before the end of the runway and didn't hit the overrun.
Brief search shows 3,200 meters, which is about 10,500 feet. So it's not a short runway.
So no,
it's not,
but
it's
not
crazy long.
Super long either.
Yeah.
Particularly if you're a heavy 777, and I don't know how high that airport is. Might be elevation.
Didn't look that part up.
Bill in YYZ says, I like how they say stopped safely. No, it stopped. Well, I could see either one, I guess.
Yeah.
It sounds better to say it stopped safely,
The aircraft vacated the runway on its own power and was subsequently handed to the maintenance. Yeah, you guys deal with this.
Yeah, here, please take it. Yeah. Throwing the anchor out. There's
we were just talking about throwing the anchor out. Because we were asking ourselves, because we do this before the show, where the term "the bitter end" came from, and we discovered it's all about throwing your anchor out, because the last bit of rope is from your anchor is called the bitter end because it is tied to the bit, which was a bollard at the ship side, where the last bit of rope was for the anchor was tied to, and hence the bitter end. There you go.
There you go.
Isn't that
That's
exciting?
why people,
Aren't you glad you tuned
people listen to the Airline Pilot Guy show for little bits of information like that. And AJ, would you please say your patented phrase that you say at the end of each show?
You're welcome.
Okay. And with that, we're going to move on to the sister ship of the one we just talked about. Another 777-300, LATAM Brazil. Papa Tango Mike Uniform Golf. So the previous one was Mike Uniform Hotel. This is Mike Uniform Golf, performing flight 8073 from Milan to Sao Paulo with 398 people on board. Wow, that's a lot of people. Departed Malpensa's runway 35 left, but struck its tail onto the runway surface during rotation. The aircraft climbed out to safety, stopped the climb at 5,000 feet, entered a hold, later at 6,000 feet while dumping fuel. The aircraft finally returned to Milan for safe landing on runway 35, right about 75 minutes after departure. And if I'm doing my math correctly, that's 1 hour and 15 minutes. And so we have some video, and it's actually some security camera video, I think, and it's on somebody's screen that they are videotaping, so that's why it looks kind of.
So we have
funky.
a video of the video.
It's the plane in the distance. Yeah, not the one in the foreground, but the one on the runway coming at us. So here we go. We're gonna hit this. You can tell that's the one. Scraping its tail a long way down that runway.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Liz, it looks like a dog rubbing its backside on the carpet.
Yep.
That's not gone well.
Yeah, that's
no.
a long tail scrape. That is.
Well, it was
not
only,
just a bump.
Okay,
it was
so here's
only
the question.
720 meters, which is 2,362 feet.
That's not far at all.
No, it's not bad.
So,
shall we watch it again? Okay. All right.
The question is, which one happened first? Did the tail strike happen first, or the rotated 175 knots happen first? Because one of these two things happened. The guys rotated too late, 175 knots, said, "Oh yeah, did you see those guys in that they dragged the tail for half the runway? We're not doing that." Or other way around. You see those guys that tried to rotate at 175 knots? That's nuts. We're not doing that.
Okay.
Yep.
Either one's possible.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Anything's possible, right? But let's go ahead and see it one more time, Liz. Thank you. Oh, come on, Jeff. All right.
Plane.
Ouch, 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 ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Wow. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
I love the registration, PT Mug.
So, and then of course the other one was PT Mug. Let's see, the flight consisted of an instructor captain sitting in the right seat.
There we go. Now we know. Yeah.
And the pilot flying for the leg, the captain in training as pilot monitoring in the left seat, relief captain sitting on the jump seat. Oh my gosh, there were three captains in this cockpit.
Well, there's your problem.
No.
That's your problem. Okay, we don't even have to talk about it anymore. The flight data recorder data shows the following parameters entered in the takeoff ref page. Flaps 5, thrust 56, V1 145, VR 149, V2 156. The METAR at Malpensa in the window of interest at 1120Z reported variable winds at 1 knot. Few clouds at 4,000, 30 degrees on the ambient temperature, 19 on the dew point. So nice weather. Okay, well, hang on. Let me say a little bit more before we address them. The gross, always referring to FDR data, gross weight 328.2 tons, 109.1 kilograms of fuel on board, 100 kilograms of fuel on board, I should say. That might be what I mean too. 109,100 kilograms of fuel on board. The aircraft took off at an indicated speed of 180. Okay, wait. Where is the part where they say what happened here? They entered the wrong data or something, didn't they?
I think you've already gone past that.
Help me out. Help me
the
out, man.
FDR data showed the following
section.
parameters entered in the takeoff ref page on the FMS. Flaps 536, V1 145, VR 149, V2 156. You've said that. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. But at the bottom, They did the performance calculation carried out with the onboard performance tool by the operator after the event, considering the takeoff weight to be 328,425 kilograms and all the rest of the things. V1 was actually 173 knots, VR 181 knots, and V2 186 knots. Just a skosh higher.
So yeah, there was quite a disparity in the what speeds that they entered and what speeds were more appropriate for that weight.
Only like 30%.
You know, you ever heard of gross error checks? Because I'm going, if you've been flying this airplane for a while, and all these three pilots sound like they're pretty experienced, except perhaps the one under training. But, those numbers aren't even close. So I'm going, come on, guys. Does anyone scratch their head and go, these numbers look a bit low? Are we sure about that?
Well, it says something in here about the following factors contributing to the event. Deviation from standard procedures by the two pilots with regard to requirement to perform individually the takeoff performance calculation. So they should have each done it on their own and then compared their numbers. The lack of understanding from the flying crew of the meaning and implications of the V speeds unavailable message.
So there was an attempt for the technology to warn you that V speeds unavailable. You should go, wait a minute, why?
We've done something wrong here.
Why are the V speeds unavailable?
Oh, in the absence of the onboard of the aircraft automatic onboard weighing and balancing system and takeoff performance monitoring system, for which there is no regulatory requirement.
Okay.
So if they'd had that, would have checked their numbers for them, it sounds like.
I wonder how many fleets actually have automatic onboard weighing and balancing system. I know that the early version of the Lockheed L1011, I believe, had that.
I've got it on the 182.
You do?
Really?
I don't think so.
Yeah, if you push the tail down and it doesn't come back up.
No, that's kind of a performance based.
No, it's the balance bit.
No, it's the balance bit. Yeah, if you push the tail down and it
It's
stays
where the
down,
center of gravity
you need to move a couple
is.
bags. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, I guess I could see that. Anyway, so there's that. Two LATAM incidents in recent time. Oh, okay. Bill in YYZ, if you're gonna do it right.
Well, they certainly
did.
it.
Heck, if you're gonna, might as well really make it good.
Yeah.
Greg Peterson, hey Greg, they should just add tiny wheels to the tail like they did for that Concorde. Yeah, solution, problem solved right there. And IL boxes with so much experience on the flight deck, everyone starts trusting the other guy, and the other guy didn't check the first guy because of experience bias. Happens all the time. Yep, that's one of those things. Being led down the primrose lane or whatever they call it, primrose. What is it saying? Yeah. Anyway.
My best example for how I trust my fellow human beings is I look both ways when I cross a one-way street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. And even when you go through, I've been doing this for years, the intersection, I have a green light and I know that they have a red light, but I still look because I have been known to drive right through an intersection. This is a long time ago, but I've done it. And I look in my rearview mirror and go, oh, yeah, I think I just drove right through that intersection. And I didn't even think about stopping.
Did you put your finger down after you were gesturing to the guy who was honking at you?
No. Oh. Jerk. Shouldn't honk
Commitment.
at me. Yes, I would love to. Well, which one? Oh, S. I thought you were saying F. I thought we already did that one.
I heard
Yes,
F too, if that makes you feel any better.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Liz. Well, I'm going to be doing some editing. Okay, so this is the last item of news that we're going to cover on today's show. We don't have a heck of a lot of feedback, so that's why we're covering a lot of news today. This is from the WashingtonTimes.com. So you remember Washington State out of, actually this happened out of Portland, didn't it? Or was it out of Seattle? Why don't I read this and find out?
If only we had
Portland,
some
Oregon.
sort of an article with information.
Yeah,
in it
what's
to
right here?
tell
That's
us.
what I'm looking at. Okay. So this, you'll remember this Alaska Airlines 737 MAX took off, and a door plug fell out of or off of the fuselage on the left side and left a big giant gaping hole in the side of the fuselage. And remember us talking about how great that the crew did with handling this emergency. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was killed. Nobody got sucked out the hole, thankfully. And, well, the Alaska Airlines pilot, who has been universally praised as a hero for safely landing a jet after a door plug panel flew off shortly after takeoff, is suing Boeing because he believes the plane maker wrongly tried to blame him and the rest of his crew. Captain Brandon Fisher was commended by the heads of the National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration, and even Boeing executives, for helping ensure none of the 177 people aboard the Flight 1282 were killed when the blowout happened in January of 2024. But Fisher's lawyers say Boeing's attempts to deflect liability in past lawsuits, despite what the NTSB investigation found, led to the pilot being sued. The pilot was sued by some passengers and caused him great distress. Still, experts say it's unusual for a pilot to sue like this. So, I mean, he's just going, well, heck, if people are going to sue me, I'm going to sue somebody, darn it. So, yeah, go ahead.
I was agreeing with you. That's all,
Yeah,
Jeff.
oh, okay. I'm sorry, I thought you were going to say something. Boeing's lie infuriated Captain Fisher as well, as he was being castigated for his actions as opposed to being lauded for his actions. Fisher's lawyers, William Walsh and Richard Mumolo, wrote in the lawsuit filed in an Oregon court because he had flown Boeing aircraft for the entirety of his employment with Alaska Airlines. Boeing's attempts to blame him felt like a deep personal betrayal by a company that claimed to hold its pilots in the highest regard. 4 flight attendants previously sued Boeing over the incident last summer. Okay. Yeah. Wow. I've never heard of anything like this happening before. It probably has, but I haven't heard it.
Well, I've heard of frivolous lawsuits being taken out about people, but I mean, when you're the captain of an aircraft and you manage to bring it back safely with everyone fit and well in the back because of a manufacturer's error, and then they start to blame you to the point where the passengers think, oh, he's obviously the guy we need to sue. I think it's just awful. But there you go. Dreadful.
We talk about this quite a bit. What is it? It's just safety culture. And this kind of action does not foster, a just safety culture, in my opinion.
No, it's true.
At all. Yeah. All right. Wow, that was a lot of news that we covered today. Thank you, Liz, for getting all that set up for us. We still have some items remaining in our news segment, but we're going to save them for our next show. And now we're going to do something called Getting to Know Us. It's a time of the show where we share kind of a show and tell, what we've been doing between shows, if anything. If you're like me, not a lot. Don't really have much to say, not a lot at all. I've been doing my singing thing, and that's about it. Yeah, I guess it's my segment. I decided to go first since I have really nothing to say. Yeah, so I've been using bleach on my mustache to make it as white as I can. Yeah, but no, I don't. It's probably the white balance in my video. I'm using the built-in video camera from my studio display, and it's kind of giving it. Yeah, it definitely looks whiter than normal.
Yeah, it gives you a nice tanned look as well. So,
yeah, a nice tan in this time of year, which is
ultra white.
Yeah,
very handsome.
Right. Well, thank you. Yours as well. Okay. Yeah. Who wants to proceed with the show and
well, if AJ does, then I can go on to the artwork when I have a quick
I can do
crack.
that. Right. Yeah, not a ton. I was actually just reviewing my photos to make sure I didn't miss anything. We I think we talked about Valentine's Day on the last show. So yeah, not a whole lot this week. Just working and working. I did go do some on-site professional development day for Civil Air Patrol, which was some learning occurred. Kind of a funny small world story. So I ended up sitting next to a gentleman who works for the FAA in a cybersecurity role, basically. And it turns out that my office is his old office.
Oh.
And we're 75 miles away from Atlanta.
I would check
so
for
it was
bugs.
just very small world.
Cybersecurity, those guys you can't trust. Just saying.
So yeah, it was just kind of small world, kind of cool.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, just kind of working and working.
Well, speaking of getting to know us, let's get to know Neil Landworn. He changed his coil packs in his Saab this morning. He says he thinks he's solved the misfire. Yeah, that does sound exciting to me, Liz. I mean, it's not every day that you change out your coil packs.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
He was having misfires, and he's got coil packs. What has he got, a rail gun in his Saab or something?
Don't cut him off, Nick.
What year is that, Neil? That must be an older vintage, I would imagine. Or do modern cars still have coils too? Do they? Okay.
Not coils, coil packs.
Coil packs. Oh, so that indicates
so each one is an individual coil pack that sits on top of each spark plug and is electronically controlled. You're thinking of a coil, which fed all the spark plugs.
Oh, okay, cool. Maine Marin says he passed another FAA medical this week. Second-class citizen for another year. Second-class citizen. Well, good for you.
Good. Well done.
Way to
Congratulations.
Go. You had a pulse. Good. Anyway, I'm sorry. This show is not only just the APG crew, it's the community as well. And we're kind of we're proving that right now. We're catching up with everybody.
Oh, we got a good one.
Tim Van Ram, I passed my FAA PAR this week. Was it on par?
What's a PAR?
What does a PAR stand for? I don't know.
That is the private
Precision Approach Radar.
Private
what I
pilot
know.
written test, basically.
Oh, private written. Okay.
Private Aviator Written. Is that what it stands for?
Yes, we spell written with an R in the U.S.
Well, I assumed it was the American spelling of written.
Touche. Good job, Tim.
Awesome. Nice one, Tim.
And okay, blame the Swedes. 2006. See, I thought it was an older one.
Oh, yeah.
Convertible.
2006 isn't old. 1996 is old.
It's nearly a classic.
Yeah.
No kidding. All right, enough of that.
Had the roof down. Yeah, I had the roof down on mine, Neil.
Yeah, how's that car running there, Captain Nick?
Yeah, that was... Well, I need to...
Yeah, check the coil packs.
I was driving home last night, and all hell broke loose in my in my motor. I was trying to count all the warnings I was getting, and the steering failed. It's part of the steering function failed. The automatic brakes failed. The hill start braking system failed. The tire pressure monitoring system failed. The ECS failed. All these fancy Audi automatic systems all failed. And the car was driving, but I had red triangles with exclamation marks in. I had engine monitoring, amber lights coming on.
What the heck is going on?
Exactly. I thought, who the hell makes a car where one little dinky 36-pound item can completely wreck my car? Anyway, I got it home and got the AA man out. That's the Alcoholics Anonymous. So he stopped me from drinking.
They pick up their customers.
Yeah, he stopped me from drinking the entire bottle of whiskey. A lot of failures could be bad battery. Yeah, I checked the battery. No, it turned out to be a wheel speed sensor. just one 36-pound wheel speed sensor.
Well,
and we're not talking
I
weight.
can see
here, we're
that
talking-
because that's what's feeding all of the information.
Yeah.
It's like you losing your airspeed sensor in the autopilot.
Well,
not being able
exactly,
to do
because
flight
I mean,
level change.
the spoiler came up, and then it refused to go anywhere, and it said spoiler failed, and I'm going, what the hell has the spoiler come up? You know,
Speed. It's based on a speed.
It is based on. You're quite
Ooh,
right.
there was a good
Anything
clue.
based on a speed.
Chuck Kelleher says, if a retired airline captain is overwhelmed by the number of warning lights in a car, that's a lot of lights.
Yeah, well.
And that reminds me of the time that I almost commanded a bailout in the T-37 back in my pilot training instructor days. And it was one cannon plug. I think it was like a 96-pin plug that got something in it, and it shorted. And I had both engines giving me an overheat warning at the same time.
Ooh.
A cabin, a cockpit, what do you call it? What do you call that thing that goes over your head? The canopy. Canopy unlock, warning light.
It's called
on.
a hat. Things goes over your
The
head.
first, well, not that. The thing on the airplane with its plexiglass.
He also had his hat on under his helmet.
Yeah.
So anyway, all these things happening, and the very first thing that happened was smoke. So we immediately went to 100% oxygen. So I just assumed that smoke I was smelling was engine smoke because I have the overheat lights on. I was wrong. Turns out that was an acrid kind of smell, acrid smoke, which is electrical. And finally, before thankfully I said bail out or eject, I said, wait a minute, how could all this happen at the same time? Something must be. And then I looked at all the breakers over there on the side that were all open. You know, we normally say popped, but I think the more accurate verb is open breakers. And I went, okay, don't go anywhere. Put the handles down. Let's don't eject. Anyway, and did I mention that we were flying formation in the weather, and my wingman lost wingman at the exact moment that everything started going off in the cockpit.
Perfect.
It
That was
never
probably the
rains,
most
but it
exciting.
pours.
It was the
I
most
love it.
exciting flight of my life. Anyway, I digress. Maine Marin has a question. Was your weight on wheels switch engaged, Captain?
Well,
Nick?
I'd just gone over a humpback bridge, so momentarily, yes. I have got yet to get it to this garage and see if that's actually what's wrong, but the AA man seemed quite convinced.
Well, I hope that the
that was
Audi F1 car doesn't have that same kind of.
I'm sure it has an
sensor.
identical system to my TT, but there you go.
Yeah.
What else has been going on this week? We've lots of Potonking. Weather's been fantastic. Had the roof down on the car, blah blah. And took pictures to annoy Liz because it's been so warm and gorgeous. We've had as much positive degrees centigrade as she's had negative. So she's had a bad time. I've had a good time. I was
How
in
about the guy that plays petanque with you that wears the really tight shorts? Was he out there doing this thing again?
Luckily, he wasn't.
Does he wear less when it's warm?
God,
Speedos.
God forbid. Yeah, he's a worry, that one. I was in hospital this morning getting my eyes poked. My glaucoma.
Did you put your hand up?
Yeah, exactly. And I was counting the flashing dots in the little machine. It's all very strange. And I'm going to a funeral tomorrow as well, Jeff. Would you like me to say hello to anyone at my funeral for you?
You're
going to your funeral?
I'm not going to my funeral. I'm going to a funeral.
I hope I'm not going to I'm singing at a funeral. I hope it's not mine.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, I'm going to. The thing about being involved with lawn bowls is that a lot of the people you know die because lawn bowls is a very dangerous sport. It probably accounts for more deaths than any other sport in the world. Lawn bowls. Anyway, one of the dear
is this
people
correlation instead of causation?
No, it's the stress. One of the dear people who I used to play with has passed away in the age of about 95 or 6. Yeah, pretty impressive.
That's a nice long life.
Pretty impressive. And she was still playing.
Yeah.
So that's good. What else is going on? Not a lot. That's about it, really. I can't see my... Yeah, cover art. Last week. Let's have a think about this. Where's my little cover art note? I've got to get rid of the calendar first of all. First thing I've got to do is find the cursor, which is so small. Right. Curse the cursor. Suggestions were Taxiway, V1 Winter Olympics, What a Feeling, Dancing on the Ceiling, 737 Hangar Dance, Troublesome Taxiway Tomfoolery. That was a lovely bit of alliteration, but no, because we had Martin with us, who worked for Flight, and we had been talking about aircraft that tried to get airborne on a taxiway, and how clever it was that nowadays you can get a sort of moving map display of the airfield, and you can see your aircraft going down the taxiways. You know, it's one of those systems that visually helps you to identify exactly where you are on the airfield, and possibly avoid lining up on the taxiway instead of the runway. So hence we have an airplane roaring down the taxiway beside the runway, and the show title is Forethought, because, you know, forewarned is forearmed, so you can use your forethought, or something like that. Anyway,
I like it. Well,
yeah.
can you go back to the big picture again there? Wow, that is a very congested airport and runway. Not a lot of
space.
Space on either side of the runway. And the other thing I was wondering about is the runway, or the markings on the aprons. That red.
Yeah, someone didn't do it. They got some pretty cheap contractors to fill in scribble.
The THC gummies, I think.
I mean, some of the yellow lines look like they might have missed their mark just a bit.
A little bit.
Indeed.
This is AI for sure.
I mean,
right?
I don't know how you're supposed to park in that red squiggly area.
A lot going on there. A lot going on. Okay,
there is. Sorry. It's an interesting AI description. Anyway, if you can look on the right-hand side, if you're looking for the show number, actually it does look like the number of the beast, doesn't it? But it's not. It's 696 was on that roof of that building. That was on one side of the airport. On the other side of the airport, we had, there you go, the penguin, our jackass, is sprouting out of the R of 4. And finally, the logo is in amongst those white lines down there at the bottom. There you go.
Now, how is it that AI can mess up all the other lines, but when it comes to our logo, it's just beautiful?
I don't know.
A human.
It's amazing, isn't it? Considering that's actually about 21 layers of different items to get that.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Pitching done. Yeah, that aeroplane didn't exist in the original. And there's actually go back to the big one, would you mind? To give it the impression that it's moving, the blur.
Yeah,
that means there's actually 2 aeroplanes there. So
I'm saying that J number on that guy is pretty high.
Yeah, he was. He was 145 knots, I think. Or was it 126? Something like that. Pretty impressive.
Doesn't matter.
Probably beat yours.
Yeah.
Right, so that was the artwork for last week. And good luck to you if you got any of those items.
Very nice. All right.
Tim has an interesting question here about the covering on airplanes.
What does he say? Oh, yeah, we're not going to do that. I'm sorry. I just read it myself. Thank you, Tim.
The covering on airplanes. Wow.
Okay. And
I'll tell you later, Nick.
If you want to, contribute to the show, we have this thing called the Coffee Bar Club, the Coffee Fund. And I guess we don't really need to do the whole segment. Yeah, okay, there's the slide. airlinepilotguy.com/coffee is the way to find out how you can join all these fine folks who contribute to our show. Oh, okay. Well, no need to rush, she says. Okay. I'll take my time. I think what I'll do is just start counting those beans in the slide. 1, 2, 3.
Too fast.
No,
too fast. Slow down.
Too slow, too fast. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so if you have the financial resources to consider it, please head over to airlinepilotguy.com. A couple different ways. One is the Coffee Fund Classic method, basically a PayPal donation page, and then the other way is to become a patron of the show via patreon.com. So take a look, and if you decide to become a member, you'll be glad you did, and we will too.
Hooray!
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, me. I'm heading
Okay.
off.
Go ahead. We'll take a little physiological break.
That's.
Oh, no. Okay. Let's see. Jet Guy 72, Martin says, thanks for the graphics, having R on the show. Me on the show. Oh, you're welcome. It was our pleasure to have you with us, Martin. We learned a lot. And it's always nice to have somebody that really knows what they're talking about up here on the show. That doesn't happen very often. It's a very real treat.
Martin, you're going to start getting a bunch of text messages from me because I'm soon to have a copy of For Flight on my iPad as well. So I'll be bugging you for tips and tricks.
Excellent. Well, that's the man that would know him for sure. So I'm guessing 1972 is the year of birth for you.
Maybe that
Martin?
was his favorite
Let's
car.
See, 2072, 28
Public math,
plus
Jeff. Warning. Public
26
math.
is 54. Is that? Did I get that right? 53 or 54, something like that. Yeah. Oh, look, Neil Landwarn is calling Nick a dope. Yeah, well, that's appropriate. Yeah. We agree, Neil. Oh, yeah. Liz is asking us to ask you, dear chat room people, to put your thinking caps on and start trying to come up with some good title ideas. Liz is saying she'd like to see Liz use something. You know, why don't we just,
I'm back.
Like, here we go. Now they can hear what you're saying. You're with us on the big screen, Liz. Oh, but she's muted. So let me unmute you. Oh, I can't. You have to unmute yourself. Okay, she says you can't find it. Okay, so I'm going to remove her. You've been banned again. Yeah, I had you on the big screen, but I couldn't unmute you. You had to do it on your own.
Who's talking about foreskins?
Oh, shoot, he found it.
Dang weren't we?
You didn't pick that up?
Ding!
You didn't pick up on that? Okay.
Well, I just read it. I went, oh, that's interesting. What's that about?
Oh, yeah, I do like that one. Neil said, reading, writing, and spelling. But you have to look at the way he spelled arithmetic. It was a waste of time.
You don't need math.
We don't need no stinking math.
Math is like an art degree. It's worthless.
I'm not sure who the pilot was that tried to take off on the taxiway, but his father showed him how last year at Oshkosh. Did somebody? Probably happens every year, right?
I don't know if it happens every year at Oshkosh. It's pretty well. It does happen every year at Oshkosh because one of the taxiways is actually used as a runway. It is sanctioned to do that. He took off on the other taxiway.
The one that's not sanctioned.
Correct.
Gotcha. So I think Tim Van Ram is trying to do a play on words there with the skin that comes before. Yes. Okay.
It's on the forefront of the airplane.
Forefront of the. Okay. It is feedback time, isn't it? Okay. Let me get the feedback up first. Okay. Good.
I thought there were 3.
Well, there were, but one's for Steph.
We're not allowed to read the third one.
Oh no, I've already read it.
Oh well.
Well, you'll have to read it.
Don't tell Steph. Don't tell Steph.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Here it is.
Captain, incoming message.
All right, this from Yehuda Moskovitz. Old episodes. Good evening, Captain Jeff. This is Yehuda from Philadelphia. Just started listening to your APG podcast a week or two ago and have started from the very beginning. Okay, this is when I pause momentarily, Liz, because I need to find a sound effect.
From The Sound of Music.
No.
Start from the very beginning.
Well, I mean, that
a
would be
very
kind
good
of...
place to start.
Here we go.
Srivijaya.
No, that's not it. We haven't heard that one in a while.
Almost.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's see. Where is it? I know. That's why I'm not too worried. Where is that? I have all these little tiles with the names of things on them, and I can't find the one I'm looking for. APG Syndrome. Well, it's this app is weird. You really can't do it like that. You can't do it alphabetically. Okay, here we go. So let me start again. This is Yehuda from Philadelphia. I just started listening to your APG podcast a week or two ago and have started from the very beginning. Now I can't find it again. Gosh,
That's such a professional.
Shut up.
You just...
No, it's... If I should show you a screenshot of what I'm looking at and trying to find all these things on this. I know.
Hey, put your finger on it.
So it's not on my Stream Deck. It's on the graphic of the Farrago, the sound playing app.
So put your finger on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it won't do any... Oh, I mean, okay, I see what you mean. Okay. All right, so I'll edit this so it sounds like I didn't pause or anything.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah, you know what that means. APG Syndrome. He's suffering from APG Syndrome. APG Syndrome. Yeah, that's what that is. All right. I'm currently, this is Yehuda again. I'm currently up to episode 25. I got a good laugh in episode 24 when, as you were apologizing for the long delay in posting, although the reason for the delay was no laughing matter, you said, and I'm paraphrasing here, quote, if you're listening in a year from now, 2 years from now, or even 10 years from now, although I can't imagine anyone would be listening beyond that time. Yeah, well, they're not. Oh.
Well.
They're listening to the episodes. Okay, I can tell you that you have an avid listener listening beyond that time, and although it's from 14 plus years ago, I still find it informative and relevant. I would also like to mention that you began the episode saying you were in Philadelphia. I moved here a few years ago and have been several times to the unofficial Philadelphia PHL observation, the airport observation site at Fort Mifflin. I find it fascinating watching airplanes on their final approach and have begun to discern the minor adjustments that are made as the plane approaches the runway. I plan on being all caught up on your podcast by the end of the year. Wow. That's
wow. highly ambitious.
Yeah, very ambitious. And I hope to hear
not
this
after he does
mentioned when
that.
I do. Yeah. Well, not only are you going to hear that mention, Yehuda, but we're mentioning your quite lofty goal of listening to all of them before the end of the year, and we're very impressed. Anyway, if not, I do at the very least look forward to your reply. And I replied to him personally and mentioned that I would talk.
He better hurry up because eventually you're going to have done another 600 shows before he gets to the current 600th show.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And so he'll still have
Diminishing
600
returns.
shows to listen to. So
it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Liz. I have no idea.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. Liz is asking if Fort Mifflin is that associated in some way with the paper company in Syracuse,
Scranton.
Mifflin.
Oh.
In Scranton.
It's
Scranton,
someone's name, I guess, because it's
Scranton,
an odd word.
Syracuse.
Dunder
Thank you.
Mifflin is the paper company from the U.S. version of The Office.
Yeah, in Scranton, PA. You're right. I mean,
I don't watch that. I stick with.
Do you watch the UK version with Ricky Gervais?
I watched some of them. Yeah.
Not that many of them. It wasn't.
I wasn't
series.
that enamored with The Office, but
yeah, I think the U.S. version is pretty funny. Anyway, yes, thank you, Yehuda, for sending in the feedback and letting us know that you're that you're suffering from the syndrome.
You can take the treatment if you want. Dr. Steph.
Yeah.
will
Okay.
Administer
and
the
I'm going to try to
injections.
find the treatment right now. Where the heck would that one be? Don't worry, I'll edit all this out. Shoot. But see, it's not alphabetized, Liz. It's in the form of a keyboard layout. It's
6 years until APG 1000. Okay.
Me too.
So I hope not, Liz. 6 years isn't very long.
No.
Well, yeah. That's no. I've seen no reason to die by 81. No.
She might not be speaking to us in 6 years, but I think
it's more like it.
Okay, I'm just going to do this. This is faster, I think. I'll go to jingle search, and then I'll do go.
It couldn't possibly be slower.
We're going to shut up. Around, and then I'll go like that, and then I'll go like this.
It's where you search your jingles, Liz. I didn't know you.
You guys aren't
that on
hearing
YouTube,
this.
but
why are you guys talking over this? But I'm thinking, it's because
we are. But we're just
I
talking
haven't
and making fun of you the whole time.
I haven't piped it in. Hang on.
Sam. Troublemaker. I don't know.
Was he saying something bad about me?
Sam thinks I'm a troublemaker. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Why, hello there. My name is Miami Hick, and I'm here to talk to you today about an embarrassing subject that no one likes to talk about. APG syndrome. Do you have a constant pain in your neck from always looking up at airplanes? Have you tried to grow your own Captain Jeff mustache? Do you think of Miami Rick every time you hear a cricket? Think of Captain Nick when you hear a frog croak. Think of Dana whenever you eat Boston baked beans. Do you think of Dr. Steph whenever you get stuck with a needle? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you are suffering from APG syndrome. Well, suffer no more. Introducing Go Around the Ceiling. With only 36 daily doses of an easy-to-swallow pill, you can be free of your symptoms with Go Around the Ceiling. Talk to your doctor today and find out if Go Around the Ceiling is right for you. Like all medicine, Go Around the Ceiling has side effects which include headache, nausea, vomiting, stomach bleeding from the ears, nose, and eyes, uncontrolled diarrhea, stomach cramps, yellowing of the teeth, hair and toenails, warts, hair loss, dry mouth, constipation, and stomach cramps.
What's great about that is you mentioned stomach cramps 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious.
So that's
if your
Miami
hair...
Hick, also known as Brent Wright, who used to give us all kinds of great comedy bits on the show. We had several people that would give us very funny things over in the earlier days. They've all moved on, apparently, but that was a lot of fun. Any of you out there that think that they can come up with some funny things like that, please send them in, because we're always very receptive for that kind of thing on the show. We love it. Yeah. Okay. Last and probably least. I don't know.
He's in the chat. He's in the chat.
Oh, I'm
Be
sorry,
nice.
Sam. Last and definitely not least. Sorry, Sam. I didn't know who it was from. Sam Bolog, who is with us in our live audience. I think, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He sends us in. Oh, okay. This is going to be a good one, actually. The Airbus A340-300 has always carried a reputation: smooth, reliable, but not exactly overpowered. So Sam says, and he gives us a link to an Instagram post. He says, "Hello, crew. Is this situation possible?" You know what? Okay. Let me play the video just so that you know what he's talking about. So if you'll pop that up there, Liz. Okay. Okay.
Is that in the manual as the pogo departure?
Yeah. So, first of all, I think there was when I first saw this video. This was months ago. I think we had. I don't know if we actually did we even cover it. I mean, I think it may have been one of those things. I think it was one of those things that we had in our news lineup and we never got around to it, and then finally Liz deleted it. And I think that there was some. I tried to do a little bit more research on that video clip, and there was some discussion that was not real. That was like AI or video or something, like a video game or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Or flight sim, yeah, something like that. But basically, if you're listening to the audio only and you don't feel like clicking on the link to see the Instagram post with the video in it, it's a A340-300 that's taking off, and it rotates and gets airborne, and then shortly after it's airborne, noses over as if to like make sure it continues to accelerate and not stall, and then in doing so, it kind of gets back down, heading back down toward the runway, settling down, and I don't know if it actually touches the main wheels.
It looked like the left bogey
wheels.
actually flexed.
The left bogey actually touches, and then they finally start going up again. And so that's the reference video that we're talking about in Sam's.
It seemed pretty abrupt to put the nose down like that.
Yeah, well, so let me set up a little bit more, and then we're going to hear from the expert. So Sam said the site. What? I'm sorry. What did he do?
He left. Dick has left the building.
Okay. Well, then we'll just make up something, and we'll say that Captain Nick told us to say this. So Sam says, "How is this situation possible?" The website says it's because the A340 is very underpowered. I have a hard time believing that. I cannot tell from the view, but are the flaps in the correct position? And yes, according to that video that we just watched, they looked like they're in a takeoff flap position to me. And he said, "I'm guessing Captain Nick can set me straight." Again, that's Sam Bullock. Okay, so the site mentions the Airbus A340-300 has always carried a reputation, smooth, reliable, but not exactly overpowered. And yes, Captain Nick has told us that many times. In fact, what is it that you like to say, Captain Nick, that is powered by 4 hair dryers?
No, I say it's smooth, reliable, but not exactly overpowered.
Is that what you say? That was a quote from you?
That's exactly what I say. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, anyway, so it goes on to talk about, the power of the engines and that kind of thing of the 340-300, which Nick flew a few times, but mostly the 600, which you flew, which had much more powerful engines. But I don't think in this situation, and I'll shut up after I say this, this situation, I don't think has anything to do with whether it's underpowered or overpowered or anything else. I think this has more to do, if this is real, I think this has more to do with the fact that, again, we have a situation where people probably miscalculated speeds for takeoff and rotation and maybe rotated the aircraft before it was really at the proper speed to do that. And then they tried to nose it over to gain a little bit more speed, and then let's try this again. But I could be completely wrong, but I stand to be corrected. And
I agree 100%, Jeff. You stand to be corrected.
I am standing. I'm standing. See?
That's why I sit down all the time. You can't correct me.
You have to sit
the 340-300, we went through 2 types of engines on that. We started off with the C2 variant, CFM56-C2, and they were the least powered, least powerful. And then we actually moved on to, we re-engined the aircraft with CFM56C4s, and they were much, much better. Not as good, of course, as the 600 variant, which had Trent 500s, which were, you know, brilliant. We could outclimb the wing with that. That was brilliant. When you look at the flaps, by the way, yeah, they look about right. Funny old thing, when you're sitting in the flight deck, you've no idea what the flaps look like from the outside because you never see them. So there were 2 flap settings used for takeoff. Flap 2 was normal. Flap 1 plus F was the setting if in certain performance situations. We didn't do that so much. I would say in this situation, it looks like he rotated at about the right angle. That looks good. We rotate about 3 degrees a second, and we lift the nose up to, I think it was 12 degrees, and then you climb away then at V2 plus 10. So the V2 speed is your engine out, one engine out safety speed, and if you rotated about right and all the performance was correctly calculated, the speed would settle at V2 plus 10, and that's the speed you initially climbed out at. Of course, if you rotate too fast, you can end up a little bit below that ideal climb away speed. It was possible, of course, to rotate so slowly that you got too fast, in which case, you know, you would actually have to reduce speed to get to and climb a bit steeper. If he had the wrong speed in, or he, you know, just brought the nose up a little too high. He's got the tail quite close to the ground, but he did. That got very close. It is possible that he settled at a speed that was perhaps a little below V2, that single one engine out safety speed, in which case he might want to flatten his climb for a little bit to recover that speed. Because if you lose an engine and you're below V2, you're not in a good situation. You've got to be at V2 to climb out on if you've lost an engine. It looks like he over-controlled. So I would say he might have gone, oh, we're a bit slow, I'll check forward. And, you know, he might have checked just because it's not a usual maneuver to check forward at that stage. I think he over-controlled and then got himself in a little bit of a PIO. So he dropped the nose too much. He, instead of just flattening his climb, he actually descended back down towards the runway, realized what he was doing, pitched back up again, and there's a bit of a wobble while he panicked. And, you know, you can thrash that stick around very easily. The airplane takes a long time to respond at the sort of speeds they are, but you can see the elevator the tailplane and the elevators at the back of the tailplane flapping around. So you can see he's trying to control the airplane, and he's in direct law now, so there's no automatics there to help him out. He's actually got to fly the airplane. He's not doing a brilliant job of it. But as you can see from the subsequent climb away, which is very positive, he's doing all right. But the interesting factor as me is they haven't started raising the gear. So in order to raise the gear, you've got to pitch the airplane up, get clear, have positive rate of climb on at least 2 indicators, and then you can raise the gear. I think the gear wasn't called for because the pilot flying it was going, oh, we're not quite at the right speed here. And then he started to struggle with actually pitching, selecting the right attitude and holding it. He didn't do a very good job of that. So he forgot completely about calling for the gear, which is a good job, because if he called for the gear and then pitched down, he came so close to touching the ground, the runway again, he might have actually landed. If the gear had been traveling, he could have whacked the gear in transit and damaged it, or he could have even hit the back of the fuselage on the ground. So that's my feeling.
Captain Nick, do you think that this was a real video?
Yeah, it looks pretty real. Yeah.
Okay, the more I watch it, the more real it looks to me. So.
The background is kind of what gives me the clues, because it looks like there's other actual things happening, not like flight sim standard things happening.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Liz, for the Bill in Yankee Zulu,
Toronto,
YYZ,
as I've discovered.
Nothing like a good stick trashing. Does it mean
Thrashing.
or
Thrashing.
Yeah,
Yes.
thrashing.
Yes. I think the pilot probably did need a good thrashing afterwards.
And
So,
maybe a thrashing too.
indeed, he certainly was stirring the pot. The problem is at those speeds, the flight controls don't feel very responsive because you're barely at flying speed. As he checked forward, he might have gone, check forward, oh, nothing's happened. Push it a bit hard. Oh, I've pushed it too much now. Oik it back. And that's kind of what it looks like to me. PIO, Liz asked, pilot-induced oscillations. So if you make a control movement and you can get out of phase with the input and the reaction of the aircraft. So if the aircraft reacts a little slowly, you can put an input in, you don't realize, or the input doesn't seem to have an effect, so you double the input. And now all of a sudden, all that input comes at one go. So you go, oh, that's too much, you pull back. So now you might, depending upon the effectiveness of the controls, get yourself in a PIO. It's because of the lag between you selecting an attitude and the aircraft actually responding. And you can anticipate by trying to change that too quickly, and you end up out of phase. So while you're pulling back, the nose can be going down, so you pull back more. Then all of a sudden, all that input happens and the nose starts coming up quite steeply. So you check forward, nothing much happens. So you check forward a bit harder, and then the nose suddenly reacts and starts coming down. And in that way, you build up an oscillation that becomes more and more severe until you pull the wings off. No, I'm joking. Don't really pull the wings off, but that's what a PIO is. And the best thing you can do at that point is to select a mean attitude and almost let go of the stick and let the airplane oscillations settle themselves out. And then you grab hold of it and carry on flying. But PIOs usually only happen when the aircraft is not being particularly responsive.
Very good. And Maine Marin says Jimmy Buffett said it best changes an attitude.
But
I'm sorry. Say it again. Put that back up there, Liz. Sorry. I'm second try at this. I'm really having trouble reading today. Jimmy Buffett said it. Jimmy Buffett said it best. Of course, if Maine Marin had put in a colon, that would have helped me. Thank you. Jimmy Buffett said it best. Changes in attitude, or changes in attitude. No, changes in attitude. Changes
but
in
the second
attitude.
line, the next line after that is important because that only works if you're going north-south. You can't do that east-west because it's also changes in latitude.
That's changes in longitude.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 oh, he's got excuses now. Excuses for his bad grammar. He's driving.
Maine Marin, I'm driving. Okay.
You're driving. That's mad.
We'll let you off the hook now. All right, it's time to wrap it up. Thank goodness. Airlinepilotguy.com, that's our website, where you'll find information about the crew, the community, which is the most important part of all of this. A calendar, a community calendar. We have merchandise. We have a library. I don't know why, but we do. And our librarian, Tiffany, is lovely, and she manages that for us. We also have a special page to cover the plane tales and more detailed information about each of those. And you can also, on that page, figure out how to subscribe to Plane Tales as a separate feed. So if you don't want to hear us talk about news and feedback and what we've been doing between shows, then hear me yak on and on and on about stuff. You can just listen to Captain Nick's wonderful voice and very highly produced segments of the Plane Tale. Just that, so check it out. Other stuff there on the website as well. But we're also on social media, and one of these fine co-hosts is going to tackle this for you. Or for me, maybe.
Okay, hang on a minute.
I think AJ did it last time.
Oh, okay, on my turn. All right, if you're a Facebook aficionado, facebook.com/airline pilot guy, and that's all one word. And if you are Twitter, if you're Twitter and you're on X, then we're at APG Crew. On the Instas where the artwork now goes, and I've even remembered to tag APG Crew, which is our handle on Instagram, APG Crew, all one word. And finally, where the sausage is made all smelly and horrible, youtube.com, where the sausage is made, /Airline Pilot Guy, again, all one word.
Yes.
Did
that's
you
where
say
you
our
go
show
to
was
find out
smelly
how
and horrible?
Yes, we have
Smelly
a
and
very
horrible,
smelly and horrible show.
Yeah, but we look good doing it, though. That's
the important thing.
That's the important thing. All right. And, of course, we're also on Slack.
Someone else who's smelly and horrible.
Not anymore. Hello, can you tell us about Slack?
Okay, but I'm dripping wet.
Almost didn't get that in. That's what she said. Okay, let's see. Would you come on over here and tell us all about the Slack, sir?
APG listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas. We suggest episode and Plain Tales topics. We plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com, or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
Thanks a lot, Hillel. Tell your wife I said hi. Okay. Let's see. This
Here she is. In her lovely red Canadian colors.
Oh, look at there. There's our producer. Thank you so much to Liz, our producer, Liz Piper, who does all the work behind the scenes. She's great, the best in aviation podcasting. Thank you very much, Liz. And then we have the best audience for sure. Come on, look at these people.
Definitely.
I mean, they're great. Thank you for being there each and every week to help us with our facts or help entertain us and all that kind of stuff. We do appreciate you. And now we say, wishing you clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Talons, Douglas.
That's all for now.
Say that.
You're welcome.
See you next time.
Poor
Wow.
Jeff.
I bet you that's Jeff, what the heck?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not getting enough sleep.
You having a stroke?
Yeah, just gonna say you having
Maybe.
a stroke.
I
don't know.
I prescribe 50 more unique New Yorks.
Okay, so Nick, here are my
All right.
contributions, but I think
I don't
there's some there in the chat room.
It's a speaking.
Bill in Toronto.
thing. Helps you
Whoops! You could
enunciate.
just have whoops as the title. Whoops.
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 What was whoops?
Whoops was
The oxygen masks dropping.
dropping. Yeah.
On the
Not
Alaska
shouldn't
Air.
have done that. Sioux City, which is a play on words about SIOUX
Sioux,
city, but Sioux City,
S-U-E
SUE City, like everybody's suing everybody.
Instead
Get
of
it?
Sioux City.
Sioux City.
Oh, okay.
Got it. We had Anchor Pilot Guy, APG Anchor Pilot Guy, because we're talking about the bitter end.
Bitter end.
And then that great one from Neil, reading, writing, and spelling, but it was all
got that.
misspelled.
Yeah.
And then we had Stirring the Pot.
You're referring to me, Tim.
And then we had Flip Flop Conflagration. That was the
Oh my God.
the shoe on the lithium-ion battery. And I think IHL Boxes had another one here, which was, I believe it was airport shoe soldering, or soldering, as you say. But I think it should be airplane, shouldn't it? Like, wasn't he soldering on the plane? But in aircraft? I don't know. Anyway.
Good
Oh, yeah.
one.
Not airport, but airplane shoe soldering. Yeah.
Five Guys Dragon Tail.
Five guys.
Oh, I get it.
Tail.
Ass, right? Did I get what he's trying to do there? airplane shoe.
No, I don't understand. What's Five Guys Dragon Tail?
I don't get that one either myself.
Come on, Tim. Please explain.
Tim, can you elucidate?
Mealy
There are only
Mouth
3
Man.
guys.
Who's Mealy Mouth Man?
I think he's talking about me.
The Mealy Mouth Man.
But
Well,
I
it
think the 5 guys, I think he means 3 guys, the 3 captains that were Dragon Tail.
Yeah, there were 3 captains, that's for sure.
Ah, okay.
Only
Maybe?
2 more.
That's what he's
Only
talking
2 more shows to combobulate
I
Jeff
know.
before 700. You were
I'm all
definitely
discombobulated
discombobulated.
right now, so I need to get recombobulated.
Definitely discombobulated.
And what were we doing? What was the dragon guy again?
The Dragon Tail, the LATAM dragging
The LATAM
its
700
tail along the
777-300
runway.
for 2,700 feet or whatever down the runway.
Yeah,
In the
but
line.
what was the first part of that one?
Oh, he
But
said 5 guys.
It was 3 guys, really. The 3 captains.
really
There was a
3.
training captain and a thingy captain, and so it was 3 guys Dragon Tail. 3 guys Dragon
Is that what you meant, Tim?
I thought Five Guys was the burger place.
Oh, that me too.
Well, it
I
is,
think
but
it
it
is,
doesn't
but
make any sense with. Explain it to us, Tim.
Tim,
Explain yourself.
what were you thinking about here?
What were you thinking, man?
What was your thought process?
What does that mean?
What were you doing? Were you off like Jeff in La La Land there, or what was going on?
Have a great.
Oh, this is for Jeff. APG the Gummies Edition. That was a good one because he was testing those gummies from the other show.
I like them gummies.
Them gummies.
These gummies are tasty.
They chew good. They chew real good.
I just can't talk when I take them.
Oh no, you can't.
You talk
Talk
better
right.
when you talk like that.
Oh yeah, you know it. I was driving and I thought I heard 5 pilots.
5 pilots. Yeah.
Wow,
no.
you should get that checked then, Tim.
Brazilian tail dragging. Yeah, there was a Brazilian plane.
Oh,
All right.
like that.
God, I've got
I
too
think
many now.
Captain Nick could be something very rude with that.
Oh, yeah, we
actually.
better-
Oh,
we
well, I've
better
already done
steer-
a Brazilian cut.
Yeah,
on the
let's steer him
previous
away
one.
from the
Yeah.
Brazilian. Yeah. Airplane. Oh, APG, airline pilot gummies. We have a new product that
Yes.
we're announcing.
In our merch.
Yeah.
You have to have a license to sell that. Do you think you can work
See
with
ya.
any...
Great show. Well, I don't understand that title.
Well, I've got about 10 too many, but apart from
Just
that,
kidding,
that's fine.
Great to see you, man.
That's a good
Again,
job.
we really enjoyed having you last episode or last show. Yeah.
Okay, everybody, I think we better get off the air before Jeff tries to read anything else, eh? Nobody think?
Yeah, good point.
And I think Nick's got to get to bed. He's got to take that Audi in for Sarah. So,
Yeah.
bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.
And Sam, I didn't mean anything about your feedback. It was great. I was just, you know me.
He was just
I'm
riffing.
all messed up.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.